on, y'all? It's J Smo Reviews here, back at it again with another video, man. As you guys can see, bringing you another episode of the Book'em series where I pick the 5 next best matchups I could foresee for a battler, with number 5 maybe being the most, out there one, and then leading up to number 1, which is the next battle that I want for a guy. And for the first time in this series' history, right, it started as one of the first series I started a little over 2 years ago when I started the channel. We're going to do a repeat episode. We're actually going to bring someone that we've done 5 matchups for before, and who better than the first person that I did a Book'em series for, Fonz. If I'm correct, I could check easily and fact check it, but I believe this was the first one that I did. And the first 5 that I had going over a little over 2 years ago, I believe, is right up here. These were the 5 we chose, and I'd say that for the most part, things ended up kind of working out, right? He doesn't battle Jack Boy. That whatever window for that was kind of an out there one, but definitely is passed. Mac Myron, smoked him. Shotgun Suge on SM, kind of smoked him. Number 2 is Chess, which, that just hasn't come to fruition yet. Still a matchup I like. And then at number 1 is O-Red, who he wasn't his next battle. It was a couple battles after. Wasn't the greatest battle, but he won that too. And this is at a time that I refused to put Nitty on this list before he battled Nitty, because I thought that the man had no chance. I was very down on Fonz in the beginning, particularly versus top competition, and he's proven me wrong over these last 2 years, just frankly what it is. And then with his win over Geechee Gotti on Gnome 14, I just thought there's a fresh crop of opponents. I'm viewing him at I'm viewing him in a top tier level. He's a top tier battle rapper. I just don't need to see anything else to say that. We got the UM1 victories. We got 4 gnomes. We got what I thought would be 3 SMs. It looks like we're not getting an SM this year, but multiple SMs. UM1 winner, if I mention that. Now, Geechee Gotti, Shotgun Suge, O-Red, good battle with Nitty. The list goes on, but there's still a lot of work for him to do. I think he could be a great star of the future here and hold down many gnomes and SMs going forward. And without further ado, let's start with number 5. And like I said, number 5 is the number that's a little out there, or I just know won't be at the forefront, but it's still a battle that I personally want. Kind of heard me hint to it because it was on our original list, and that is Fonz versus Chess. I still think there's potential for this to be a very good battle, and clearly this all is just on Chess right now. Chess is in battle rap rehabilitation. His last slew of performances, from choking to just losing straight up, just bad. Nothing that we're not particularly used to. We've seen multiple of these dips from Chess, and then obviously, which is a great thing, the birth of his son and fatherhood. So clearly probably out of the ring, focusing on that, no problem with that. Get yourself back on track performance-wise, just life-wise, adapting to a new life. So for all those reasons, I just don't see exactly when Chess is popping back out. We haven't heard much of anything. But if Fonz and Chess popped up on a card, besides the worry for Chess, we know what the potential is of that battle, and I still think, you could put it up on a bigger card, or it's a main event on an app card, something of that nature. There's still weight to it. That's why I particularly want it. I'd have Fonz winning, but I still want the battle. And then we go to number 4, someone I've talked about wanting Fonz battling. Was hoping he'd battle on Kings versus Queens. Sadly, the matchup didn't come to fruition. But fuck it. I still want this battle, and that is Fonz versus Miss Hustle. They had the opportunity. They went back and forth a few times on Twitter, particularly in our Champion Gold Executive Suite spaces, man. We were chopping some battle rap. They were able to come up, I believe, about a month, maybe a month and a half ago. And they were talking crazy to each other. And I think Fonz has got a reputation where he's just talking crazy to anyone and everyone right now. There's many call-outs that aren't on this list of 5, right, that he's also called out. And as for Hustle, we all know the energy that she brings. Just the aggressive chain punching with the performance, like a Tasmanian devil running you down. It's relentless. And she brings that energy to her promo game as well. So I like what they could do for that matchup-wise. I think Fonz has gotten better too in that performance department. I believe even though he still has this unorthodox style, sometimes you can't always walk into the punch with him, right? He just sets things up a little bit differently. Sometimes he'll reach out there too, but I think that's kind of the mark of a great writer. Sometimes you're going to try things so out there trying to be creative, they might not always land. And that pitted up against Miss Hustle with more of the punch rate, but not that same level of creativity. There's just a lot of different things that go against each other here. You add that puncher versus puncher feel. It could be in a big stage and be good. It could be in a small room and be good. I still like the battle, and out of all the possible Fonz versus women matchups left, because God, Fonz has been acting not right when he battles some of the great females in our culture. He's been undefeated so far, and I think Hustle's one of those that it's going to give him the best fight in the ring. And then from there, you get into the top 3. I think these are the matchups for Fonz that really, really interest me after the Geechee Gotti battle. If any of these were in the soon future, I'd be cool with it. Obviously, number 1 will be what we want next. But at number 3, I have Fonz versus Tay-Rock. It's almost unfair to put Tay-Rock on a Bookham list for someone else because he's just battling so many people. He can't battle everybody. But can he? Because that's really what the man's trying to do. He's going to have 10-plus battles booked here at the halfway point of the year. I think he's completed close to 10. He might be at 8 or 9. If I counted, it might be 10 on the dot. But there's a really good chance it's 2024 and Tay-Rock will battle 20 times. I mean, at least if he keeps going at the rate that he's went so far this year, and you look at how many great opponents are out there left for Rock. I mean, even when they said he didn't have many left, which was kind of a lie, because look at what he's done this year. Bill Collector, great op, great battle. A-Ward, great op, great battle. Jerry West, great op, great battle. Iron Solomon calling the guy out on champion, for Christ's sake. And I think Fonz is another worthy challenger. I think particularly... I know people are going to talk Rock and Easy, you know what I'm saying? And of course, the mega match, even though the noise isn't there, people want that in general. But I think the whole top 3 from that U11 class could give Rock a fight. Not just Easy, I think Real Sick and Rock would be dope. And I also think Rock and Fonz would be fire in itself. I don't know what card it would be on. Maybe that is like a SM type of situation. I mean, people said Geechee and Fonz seemed kind of random, right? And look, I thought that was a great look for him and good footage overall. Rock is going to be even more consistent. You're not going to have maybe that same stumbling you get here and there with Geechee taking a round off. These guys could have a great battle, and these are the moments clearly that the man's ready to keep being in after seeing what happened on Gnome 14. So Rock and Fonz doesn't have to be immediately next. I'm aware of what Rock's schedule is looking like right now. But if it was in the soon future before the end of the year or on another big card, I just think it would be a good idea. And that leaves us with our top 2 matchups here, and either of them I really like. I think the first one I just see more realistically happening soon. But here at number 2, this is a battle. If you asked me about 2 years ago, I would have said Fonz has no chance. And now 2 years later, I think it could be one of the most slept on and really best fights that can get booked in Battle Rap. And that is Fonz versus New Jersey Twerk. Many of you didn't see, but I know that hasn't been the greatest start to 2024 for Twerk. Let's just call it what it is. We obviously have the T-top battle with the slip-ups making a return there. Some no-show conversation, right? Just sometimes some of his book battles didn't go down. I know he's got Clone coming up at the end of June, and I just watched him versus J2 in person. Listen, I know beating J2 is not going to, move any mountains, but the content in itself was a Twerk that was once again very prepared, high level, enjoyed his performance very much so. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was great all 3 rounds. So for me, he's back on track. You're right, and I'm ready to see him again versus another op of kind of like high value, maybe a card of high value. And I think for Fonz, it's just a great bar-for-bar battle. I mean, if I said Fonz and Twerk, you guys thought of Haymakers instantly. Just call it what it is, the first thing that pops up in your mind. And unlike another matchup, which I really want, I'm not saying that I don't want this other matchup, but Twerk, there's a battle Twerk and Av, right? That is similar to this in a lot of ways. We know how many times that's been booked, unbooked. I really want that to go down soon, ASAP, right? But something that I kind of even prefer the Twerk and Fonz matchup a little bit is while Av is an elite puncher in his own right, I mean, as elite, obviously all time is over Fonz. It's going to take Fonz some time to catch up. You could debate over Twerk as well. You know what I'm saying? I would say that he's over Twerk all time as an all-time puncher. But my thing with Av is that there's more of this efficiency thing, right? He's going to throw a lot of them, and obviously he can reach Haymaker peaks, but Twerk and Fonz, what they do with wordplay, and even if they don't land as consistent, when they land a bomb, it's special. It's one of the quotables of the event. How did he think of that? And I feel like they both have that ability, like a Nitty as well, just to craft some of the actual singular best punches I've heard, not just on a card, not just in a battle, but it feels like for a year. I'm still quoting bars from Fonz versus Chef Trez. That's just peak creativity, and that's what it is. It's the creativity of both. And plus, I think that Fonz is improving a lot as a performer. The energy he brings to a battle, I think he even brings a little bit of comedy to a battle, attacking on an angle. He's developing an all-around game. Twerk, I don't have to speak on his performer. He's the best that we got right now, and his all-around game has developed a lot in the last year and a half or so. So I think that they could have one of the best battles in Battle Rap, just straight up. I think it's fantastic. At this point, as you see, these are all top-tier names. I don't think it's like random or anything like that. You throw Fonz in front of someone else, great. The greatness of both of them will sell the battle. And for me, it's why it's one of the battles that I love to see I love to see Fonz take next. And that leaves you with number 1, the next battle I want for Fonz. This one needs to happen before the end of 2024, if not within the next couple months. And that is Fonz versus John to Don. I love this battle for both sides, and if you're a fan of either or keep up with their media runs, you'll know these two can't shut up about each other. They have been yapping at each other for a minute. They're going to kill each other. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. They've had face-offs in person. You know what I'm saying? They've had face-offs over the spaces. They are selling the fight way ahead of time to make it make sense. It's an SM-worthy battle. I'm going to mention that again because I don't think we're going to fucking SM. And I'm angry about it because this is another battle where not only is it the top tiers the Fonz have been getting, working on that resume, just being consistently on big cards and in big moments, but it poses a challenge to him because in theory, I think John's style versus Fonz's style is supposed to be a problem for a puncher. The strategist, the more all around, he's going to figure out what you're not doing great, and he's going to emphasize that. He's going to take that sneaky angle you didn't see. I just think that there's so much to John's style that's interesting in contrast to Fonz's style and makes it another important, maybe even defining battle for Fonz. All right, he's battled the puncher guys, right? Geechee's all around, but we all know that John is not going to kind of give away around or stumble as much as a Geechee Gotti, right? He's going to have a particular approach all 3 rounds. And on top of that, battle makes sense for John. At this point, he's beyond a legend in his own right. He's been great recently. The Easy and Calico battles are battles that add to his all-time docket. I think that for his legacy, these past 6 to 8 months have been fantastic for him. And this is a worthy, new school, definitive top tier, in my opinion, where you coming outside is not you giving any crazy shot or anything like that. Yes, you are the A side. You are the guy that's been around here and has all the millions of views, but it's beyond a worthy competitor in Fonz. He said it. We all know it. And if Fonz is able to just punch through those defenses, right, the strategy, the angles, and he's just able to overpower them, it's just another statement of how fantastic Fonz is and the star that he's turning to right in front of our eyes. And that's why, for me, Fonz versus John Dodon is an absolute must before the end of the year. And that is it here for my second Book'em video related to Fonz. Went back to the 2022 one, had to update it with 4 new matchups here. Only person that came back from the old one is Chess. And listen, there's some of you probably don't want the Chess battle definitely right now because of the state that Chess is in. But this is one of those, you give it 4 or 5 months, we see maybe Chess comes back and he's able to get it together. Shit, maybe it'll be longer than that, right? And it's somewhere in 2025. But if we can get a Chess that's applied to the game again against the Fonz we've been seeing recently, you tell me you don't like that. And then the rest of these are top tier matchups that have called him out, that he's called out, and it's just a matter of time before we get to them, if it's going to be the end of 2024 or if it's something that we're going to save going into next year. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Obviously, I feel like I've done a lot of Fonz talk on this channel overall, back from when I was kind of trashing him to when I started to become a believer and see the upside, to the point now that I believe he's approaching one of the 5 best active battle rappers in the world. So I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on the next matchup for him. Is there anyone on this list that you want to see higher? Do you want the John battle next? I think it's the one that makes sense. Or is it something off the list I haven't mentioned? Please let me know in the comments down below, man. But it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.